Well, it's one thing to use Lord Ali's flat for looking after his son's education, 480 odd pounds a day. It's a modest investment in ensuring that his son has an anxiety-free period to study for and do his GCSEs. It's what any parent would do. Some parents would do that in a private educational facility. Some parents would do that by moving to a better catchment area. Keir Starmer does it through his friend Lord Ali. Perfectly understandable. And Keir Starmer's reasoned approach is something that I would have thought the majority of people in the country would sympathise about. It, of course, leaves a very, very strange taste in the mouth when you suddenly realise that he's behind and supporting the educational policy that puts VAT suddenly on schools in the middle of a school year, and probably, means at least a handful, maybe significantly more, of students who are caught in this fee rise will find that they are pulled out of school and pushed into another school at exactly the point when they are preparing for and about to do national exams. You have to ask, would Keir Starmer do that? You have to ask, is that what a parent who has scrimped and saved in order to help their child's educational needs, is this what they consider the appropriate support of the national government? And there's a level of hypocrisy, of course, there between what Sir Keir Starmer has done for his own family and what he recommends other parents do for their families. I find it disturbing, but I find it equally disturbing that Keir Starmer has used Lord Ali's flat for photo opportunities and I suppose to distance himself from his own personal family home. This is something that is going to provoke significant scrutiny, I think, and the choices he has made highlight the ongoing complexities and the pitfalls surrounding the relationship between politicians and wealthy donors, but also surrounding the relationship between parents and the option of paying for a better service, whether this is paying for a better education, a secure education, a safe education. What parent would not want that? Or paying for better healthcare when the NHS is failing. In December 2021, Starmer used the penthouse of Lord Ali for a video message urging the public to work from home during the rise of COVID-19. While the backdrop of the video gave the impression of being filmed in his own home, the penthouse actually belonged to Labour peer Lord Ali. Starmer later used the same flat to deliver a statement following the death of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022. He justified the use of the apartment by citing the need to protect his son's education from disruptions caused by the press and protesters outside the Starmer Kentish town home. He argued that any parent in his position would have made the same decision to ensure their child could study in peace. Absolutely. And it's that same decision that would encourage people to invest in private education. And they wouldn't expect that in the middle of an academic year that that investment would suddenly be bulked up by a VAT demand imposed by a government led by somebody who has put forward his reasons for doing exactly the same thing. He's disclosed that £20,437.28 was the value of the accommodation that he required to help his son, but he also helped himself at the same time. He didn't declare the use of the penthouse for the two addresses as it fell below the threshold for donations. The situation raises questions about the ethical implications of such arrangements. While no rules were technically breached, the use of a donor's property for public messages, especially when it could be interpreted as presenting himself as more relatable, can be seen as misleading. Critics argue that such actions blur the line between personal convenience and political propriety, and they raise concerns about the influence of wealthy donors. Lord Ali, a significant Labour donor and former chairman of ASOS, has been at the centre of the controversy. He's provided Starmer not only with the penthouse, but also with nearly $20,000 worth of clothing and glasses, and a total of £55,000 in donations. Moreover, he allowed Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, to use his New York apartment. This has fueled allegations of undue influence, although Starmer insists all donations were properly declared and there was no impropriety, no dodgy business. This situation highlights the broader issue within the Labour Party concerning its relationship with wealthy donors. The same sort of issues that have been brought up over the years about Conservative Party MPs, ministers. It took the Conservative Party a long time for these subjects to come up. It's taken the Labour Party just a matter of weeks. Starmer has indicated that senior members of the government will no longer accept donations for clothes, the clothes bank, likely in response to the public backlash. But morality is about making it clear, we know what is right and what is wrong. The morality we see on display is about dodging responsibility once you've got caught. The episode underscores the delicate balance that Labour needs to strike between funding its activities and maintaining its commitment to transparency and integrity. And Starmer's use of Lord Ali's penthouse, while not illegal, raises questions about the perception of political integrity and the influence of wealth in politics. It illustrates the fine line between the personal and the political, how even well-intentioned decisions can be scrutinised in the court of public opinion. And when placed against the threatened rise in VAT on private education, this story has a very nasty taste in the mouth. One rule for this person, one rule for that. We talk about, Farage talks about two-tier policing. This is two-tier morality. This is two-tier education. This is two-tier domesticity. One house for show, one house for living. Most of us can barely have one house at all. Some of us can barely pay the mortgage after Liz Truss's extraordinarily inappropriate and malign intervention. Keir Starmer isn't responsible for Liz Truss, but he doesn't make life easier. And this obsession, this determination to look tough is fast becoming a way to embrace stupidity. For a party that champions the cause of transparency and accountability, these episodes, one after the other, undermine the message of Keir Starmer and complicate his relationship with both donors and the electorate.